there, this is RomWills coming back at you with yet another video. Don't let what women say publicly faze you. Now, you know what? I've said several times, I've talked to thousands of women in my life. But one thing I learned, I didn't pay what they said publicly and what they said privately could be two different things. They can say whatever. They like publicly, they'll say, I wouldn't get with that type of guy. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. But then privately, they would say or do something else. One time I've talked about several times on here, I haven't talked about it in recent years, but when I was at an event and it was specifically talking about women having that Mr. Goodbar type, specifically. And these women, they were real quiet except for one. And one was like really getting in an argument with me, talking about, oh no, women don't have that type of man. They wouldn't have that type of man. I mean, it was getting hot in there. But then when we got outside and it was just me, her, and a couple of her friends who know she was full of it, she was like, damn right, she got a muscular young boy on the side. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you something now. When women say stuff publicly, like go on these videos or interviews on the street, I just be like, whatever. I don't take a woman seriously unless it's just me and her talking. That's the only time. And even then, I'm still paying attention to other factors. But if they saying something in front of their girls or publicly, then no. See, one thing with women, they are very concerned with their public personas. They're very concerned how they look in public. Indeed, that's why many women, they'll have that good guy socially. They had that good man socially, but then they had that bad man tearing them up like privately. That's why they will have that 12 to 5 man. He can only come over at midnight at night, and he better leave at 5 in the morning. And then those same women, they'll tell that guy, hey, act like you don't, if you see me out in public, don't act like you don't know me. Because remember, see, one thing with women, they very concerned. Like there's always a big deal over a woman's body count. Look, I'm just gonna be real with y'all. No, if you ask a woman her body count, she's either gonna lie to you, or if she tell you the truth, you ain't gonna be able to handle it. So women, what they gonna do? They're gonna lie. If they meet that guy who's a good husband, who look like a good husband type, and somebody they want to spend time with, oh, they're gonna lie. They're gonna conveniently forget about some of the one night stands they had and some of the bad guys they had. They gonna feel like they might tell you 2, and the real number is 20, whatever. They gonna do that. In fact, you get some guys, they get caught up into it. They say, well, a woman told me this. It was like, okay. See, here's the thing. One of the things you want to pay attention to, even no matter where you're talking with the woman, even when you're talking with her in private, pay attention to her actions. What are her actions, especially her actions in private? Because even her actions in public, they could be putting on a certain thing. Because remember, several times I talked about this woman. I told her, I said, look out, you might cheat. And then she explained for another hour why she would cheat on her husband. But this woman, if you saw her publicly, you wouldn't think she was down. If she was doing videos or something, you would think, oh, she's like on top of it. She wouldn't do that. Please. Like whenever a woman says something, even on these videos, even I'll just be like, yeah, okay, I'll keep that in mind. But I was like, I don't know, I haven't talked to her privately. That's when I'm paying attention. And this ain't nothing against women. Seriously, it's just happening. And women will admit to it. They will admit that, they can't be as honest as they could be publicly. But privately they might say whatever. Now the whole title of this was don't let what they say publicly faze you. They can look you dead in the eye in a public environment and say, hey, act like you don't know me or you this or that, and then privately want to get with you. And I learned this way back in the day. I remember I was on this job and there was a woman and she was like, well, that's why I don't say nothing to Rom. She was telling a group of girls, right? And I was just like, we ain't never talk. How you want to say anything? But then she was extra friendly to me when there was nobody around. I was like, oh, okay. You know? And then I haven't talked about the shadow world in a while. The type of man that a woman will get with in the shadow world, she might not want him speaking to her publicly. But here's the bottom line. If the woman says something, and even something about you in a public space, just be like, yeah, okay. All right, whatever. Seriously, don't let that faze you. See, that's the main thing. You can't be fazed by what a woman says or does in a public venue. You can't be fazed by it. They gonna say whatever. Pay attention to their actions. Pay attention to a one-on-one conversation with them. Seriously, I got so many examples of when a woman, she would say something publicly and then do something else privately. Say something else privately. Because surprise, surprise, women will lie. And the main reason, not that they're bad people, but many men want super innocent women. And I'm just like, okay. Now, unless they're around a man who ain't bothered by any of that, and they might be honest, and they might, if you're that type of guy who ain't gonna show anything, or ain't gonna show any, anger or shock or anything, yeah, they might be honest around you. But you know what? Most men aren't like that. See, one of the things you have to be as a man, regardless, you gotta be cool. You gotta be cool no matter what. And if the woman see that you cool and you ain't gonna be judging her, if you wanna find out about what she really about, you gotta be cool with it. I've told some men that privately. You gotta be cool. They wanted to find out about a woman's sexual nature. I was like, you can't show any judgment about it. But whatever the bottom line is, whatever they say publicly, you just be like, okay, whatever. Shit, I've had several women, they would say publicly, oh, I wouldn't get with you. I wouldn't do anything with you. Then we doing something like within an hour or something. It was like, whatever. All right. Like I said, the main thing you pay attention to is a woman's actions. But the main thing, even bigger than that, is don't let it faze you. Don't let it hurt you. So many guys will be like, oh, feeling bad. It's like, whatever. If a woman says whatever, just be like, okay. And keep it moving. Because look at where you at. She's around some people. But then in private, she might be totally different, all right? Understand that. So anyway, that's all I have for right now. And I'll get back with you. Peace and blessings.